I just forwarded it to you, so you have it.
Okay, great. Thanks. Wow. All right, we should be streaming now. Let's see what we got in the audience. So far, just 2 attendees. Oh, there's 3. Here we go. Now they're coming in. Okay, we have 0 attendees. Everybody's a panelist now. 7:03, so I don't know if you want to get going.
Yeah, let's.
Can anybody see or hear me?
We
You
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Hear me, you don't see me.
Correct.
Got the video on too. Let's see.
Oh, Sean's here.
I got
So
nothing.
Heather, you're going to be running the show?
Yep. You
Okay.
ready?
Want me to read?
Please do.
Okay. This meeting of the Historic District Commission will take place in a webinar format through Zoom. The chairman of this meeting is going to be Heather Giannakopoulos. The host of the webinar is the building officials. Staff attending the meeting include Peters of English, Seamus Quinn, and Linda Galetta. Anyone speaking should state their names prior to speaking each time. The panelists in this webinar meeting will be the commission members and the building staff. Panelists who would like to comment on an item should indicate such by using the icon to raise hand at the bottom of the screen. After a panelist raises their hand, they will be able to comment one at a time when called upon by the chairperson. Panelists should mute their microphones until called upon. Panelists calling into the meeting by telephone may raise or lower their hand by pressing *9. To mute or unmute, press *6. To make a motion or second a motion, commission members can raise a hand and be acknowledged by the host or chair. To vote on a motion, commission members will be called upon individually by the chair to vote. The public can participate in the meeting during the public communications agenda item. The public will be asked to raise their hand during public communications if they want to speak at this time by using the icon to raise hand at the bottom of the screen. The public will be called upon by the host one at a time and will be able to speak during this time. Attendees must identify themselves before speaking. And it's all yours.
Okay. So I'm going to call this meeting to order, 7:05 on August 18th. If I'm appointing everyone here, I don't remember if I appoint myself, or is that unnecessary as chairperson?
I think it's unnecessary.
Okay. All right, we'll do roll call. Heather Giannakopoulos here. Don Levinson.
Here.
Eric Goodman.
Here.
That's it for tonight. So we don't need to see any subs then, and then we don't have Todd. So do we need someone else to read the call? I haven't had to do that yet. He's usually here to read the call. So who reads the call?
So previously Sarah has read the call. I think sometimes Don covers for back in the old days prior to COVID. I think Don used to cover for
Don, you want to cover?
Todd.
I don't have the call though. That's the only problem.
It's on the screen. Can you see it or no?
I
Oh,
just see the
no.
agenda.
You're right. That's the agenda. So Peter, the call is the very last piece at the end. Right there. There we go.
All right. I'm ready. Please publish the following public notice for one insertion on Monday, August 10th, 2020. Town of Groton, notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold the public hearing on Tuesday, August 18th, 2020 at 7 p.m. virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HDC 20-53, 115 Library Street, Timothy Foley, owner, J. Milius, applicant, condensers and line set, pin number 2619172016222. HDC 20-54, 12 Water Street, Factory Square, LLC, owner Todd Brady, applicant. Modification of a COA number 2290, pin number 26191830550. HDC 20-56, 15 Burrows Street, Alexandra and Richard Garman, owners, renewal by Anderson, applicant, replace windows, pin number 2619182165151. HDC 20-57, 154 Cliff Street, Donna Zerai, owner, Denise Knopf, applicant, addition, pin number 26191432848. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meeting calendar, or could be attended by visiting www.zoom.us. Webinar ID 819-1512-4575, password 468862, or by phone at 1-312-626-6799. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated this 10th day of August 2020 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact Linda Galetta at 860-446-5982. Sincerely, Peter Zvinglis.
Thank you. All right, we are going to begin our public hearings, and we will start with our continued applications. HGC 20-15, 54 West Main Street. Is Chris here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, great.
Yep.
All right. So go ahead, state your name
So this is
we can
Chris
begin.
Dubourg with the One Look Sign Company representing Movement Mortgage. We applied to put a panel, a sign panel, and an existing post and panel sign. And I guess at the time we were going through this, there was an issue with that sign in general. So we've just been waiting to see if there's any resolution with that sign.
So there has not been a resolution, unfortunately. Lori did come in, and jump in, anybody, correct me if I'm wrong. Lori came in and didn't have all of the materials needed to complete. She didn't have a complete application. So she's supposed to come back in.
Mm-hmm.
And so before we can approve this, we have
Right.
to approve that.
Okay. Is there any timing on that, or?
Well, she hasn't, since she came in, she has not reached back out to you, Linda.
No,
Is
I
that
haven't
correct?
heard from her at all.
Okay.
Until she gets that, either until she reapplies for that sign or puts the sign she was approved, he can't add to it.
Correct. And
Even if she doesn't come back, we still can't do anything indefinitely until she does something. Unless he decides to put another sign up, but I don't know if that's even allowed.
I don't even think, yeah, I don't think that's feasible, but, right.
clearly you're in a sticky situation because you're trying to get this done and you're really roadblocked. She has some work to do and you'd be wasting your time coming back every 2 weeks until that's done.
So it gets resolved, right? Okay,
Maybe you could try contacting her, trying to push her along. Is that possible?
I'm happy to do that, sure.
I mean,
At least try.
she came in that one time, so that was good. I mean, she just didn't, but I was, the fact that she showed up, I thought
Right.
we were going to be moving along. She just didn't have what she needed. And I think didn't really remember where we had left off or just seemed confused. So if she can either, like Eric said, put up the sign that she has been approved for, or get her application together so that when you talk to her, those are the two things that we're
Okay,
holding up.
okay, that sounds good.
So Linda, at this point, it's just, I hate to just, I think in terms of keeping his application going, we just have to continue.
So I'm glad you brought that up because the last time that you met, which was, no, I take that back. When you were last scheduled to meet, August 5th, with the 90-day expiration occurred 2 days later on August
Okay.
7th.
Okay.
However, Chris had already agreed to a 65-day extension. So you've used up the 90 days and now we're within that agreed to 65-day extension.
Okay.
But again, the clock is now ticking. And then once that ends, I don't think it can be extended anymore.
So maybe use that if you do speak with her and just say you're completely under a time constraint.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see her at the next meeting.
Okay,
All right.
Yep.
I
Thank you.
apologize.
that's okay.
All right.
Not your
So
fault.
at this point, we do continue. We're just in the 65 days now instead
So
of,
yes, to answer
Yep.
your question, yes, you can just continue tonight.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
A real question at hand.
So move to continue HDC 20-15.
Second,
All in favor? Don Levinson,
aye.
Eric Goodman.
Aye.
Heather Janikopoulos, aye. Okay.
Why don't you just forward this or continue the second one too?
Mhm.
Instead of,
Correct. Move to continue HDC 20-43.
Second,
All in favor? Aye. Heather Janikopoulos, aye. Don Levinson,
aye.
Eric Goodman.
aye.
Okay. So HDC 20-51, 24 Main Street.
He can,
No, he's here. Sean's here instead
I'm
of
here.
Jacob. So hold on one second. Let us pull it up. And then Sean, state your name and then feel free to start.
Yeah, Sean Golan here from Via Amelia Restaurant. We're applying to add a little bit of additional signage on the frontage of the building. 3 separate words going above the door and the windows: pasta, salumi, and vino. Those would be in raised vinyl lettering, and that's about it. You can see the sizes listed below. The color would be in the same color as our sign. There's a low-tech mock-up done by Jacob, but you'll get the idea.
Do we have the materials?
It's going to be vinyl. It's going to be like a gold colored vinyl or a yellow vinyl, same as the hanging vertical sign.
Just curious, what's salumi mean?
Salumi is, charcuterie is French, salumi is Italian. So cured meats, prosciutto, salami, things like that.
Okay.
Any other questions for this application?
No,
Eric?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Anyone in the audience like to speak for this application? Would anyone in the audience like to speak against this application? HGC, what was it, 152-20? Sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
It's
No, 20.
2/5.
I had them all mixed up. HGC 20-51 is closed. Sean, you know the deal. You can either stay on and listen after deliberations, or we can contact you via.
Contact me after, it'd be fine.
Okay,
Thanks very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time. Okay.
Sorry, Heather, Todd was continuing. That's what I
yeah,
thought.
he's continuing too. So HGC 20-54, 12 Water Street, Factory Square, motion to continue.
second,
All in favor? Aye. Heather Janikopoulos, aye. Don Levinson,
aye.
Eric Goodman.
Aye.
That's closed. I don't have the number in front of me. 20-54 is closed. HTC 20-53, 115 Library Street. Hi, Dan? Is that Dan?
No,
Yes.
it should be Jay.
Hello, Jay Millis, Millis
Oh,
Heating
it's
and Cooling.
Jay. Hi,
Can you hear
Jay.
me?
Okay, sorry. Yes, we can hear you.
I couldn't make my video work, sorry.
No problem. Okay, so state your name and go ahead.
Jay Millis, Millis Heating and Cooling. This application is for setting 2 condensers on the left side of the home, 115 Library Street. 2 Mitsubishi units. I've got them drawn in here. There you go. I'm getting as good as I can with the Sharpie there, but that's where we're looking to put them. That'll be 1 drop, and then the other unit will pop out from the basement. Street view is, there just isn't much. I tried for every angle I could on street view. You really just can't see it from the street. That's about your best shot if you go back there a little ways.
Okay. Any questions?
Jay, I'm just curious, as a practice, is there a reason why you never bury them in the walls, just so we don't see the line set?
Huge problems. So like the main connection for the unit typically is outside on the exterior of the home in the conduit. You can put them behind the unit inside, but it's really tricky to get at. But you also have the drainage connection that's made outside. So when you have issues with drainage, you can have problems in the walls. But the biggest issue is line sets leaking. And that's why I don't put them in the wall. It's a common question by contractors that want to like force you to stick them in the walls. What we're finding now is that they've changed the insulation on the line sets, and certain manufacturers are having problems with that insulation reacting with moisture and actually rotting out the copper. I don't think there's going to ever be a perfect world. So the idea of burying them just makes me nauseous. So we don't do it. So I guess from a maintenance standpoint, that's the biggest reason, Conventional systems and new construction, it's super common to bury them in the walls. They're a little more reliable than the mini split line sets. But people do it. I mean, people do it a lot. I honestly, I won't. It's too many issues.
Yeah, my guys have been burying them for 5 years and we've never had a problem.
That's a really short time, 5 years.
Yeah.
That's when the problems all start. If you talk to Rick Hatch at R&W, he'll tell you about the thousands of feet of line set he's had to change due to failure. it's a really risky business burying them on the walls.
Are you gonna have a platform? Or what are they sitting on?
Yeah, they'll sit on the same basic kind of boiler block stone platform that we make for all of ours. It's you know, a little more attractive than the metal stands that I don't know if you've seen those out there. It's like 4 legs looking thing they make for them.
Is that in the application?
No, I didn't put it in there. I don't think that I ever have.
I don't know if it would necessarily have to be in there because if the condensers were off of them, it technically is not attached to the house and it's more like patio work, I suppose.
Mhm.
It's the same thing you had to come for, though.
Me?
Yeah, I'm just saying if it's off the ground.
I mean,
Is that part visual from the road though, from the public view, or is it just the line set that you see from the road?
I think if it was
just
up on
line
the,
set. That's why
if it
I
was-
gave you 2 pictures. You have this one and then you have the next one, and either one of them, you're not going to see anything. The pad is more for security, you know, housekeeping, so it keeps it off the ground from grass clippings and landscaping. It's, you know,
How high up is it?
how high up is the pad?
Yeah.
Oh God, what are those blocks? I'd say 4, 8, 10 inches.
Then you don't need it.
Oh, what's the height restriction?
Yeah, 15 was it?
15,
Yes.
okay.
I was thinking it was lower. If you were gonna put them on those stands, yes, but I don't think that.
Yeah, I'll be sure to picture it next time. I never have, and it's never come up, and you guys have approved lots of these now, so. But I will definitely include it next time, just so you guys can see what we do, you know?
Okay, any other questions?
Nope.
Eric, no questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Eric, who's the one that you use? Like a local guy or just a friend or?
Who do we use to put them in?
Yeah,
Ledge Light or Crest Mechanical.
okay.
And Crest buries them and they're huge. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, because they probably do a lot of VRF systems too, and like in the commercial side.
Well,
they're-
that's the majority of what we put in. We're burying 21 of them down on Water Street. You know that building that you commented about? The one next to SIFT?
Oh yeah, yep. That's where they're doing it.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, so like there's a building that BC Mechanical did out in Stonington in the borough, and they did the whole building like that, and they're replacing every line set in it right now. So there's a lot that's going to happen with these mini splits in the years to come here, unfortunately, that we're all going to be chasing.
Just interesting because the Mitsubishi rep on the project was the one that, went through the whole thing with us.
Yeah, the irony there is that Mitsubishi doesn't warranty any of the line sets. So we're really on our own with this problem. It's
good comments. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's tricky, it is what it is. You just got to feel it out. But yeah, the VRF systems are huge. So a lot of that going on.
Yep.
Okay, would anyone in the audience like to speak for this application? Would anyone in the audience like to speak against this application? HDC 20-53 is now closed. HDC 20-56, 15 Burroughs Street.
Dan, hi.
This time, hi.
Hi, I'm Dan Kalenda from Renewal by Anderson, and we're applying for Alexandra and Richard Garman. We're putting in 2 patio doors. We're replacing exactly what they have now, and 4 replacement double glider windows, which are exactly what they have now. No structural changes. Everything looks identical to what they have, including the color and the trim. And it's in the sunroom in the back of their home. They look just like those pictures there.
Okay. Did you have any, did you have your map as well? It's the pictures. Yep, there we go.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was.
And we put some pictures in there too of the house from the street, so you can't even really see.
You can't. I don't
Correct.
think you can see this from the street.
You cannot see it from the street. That's correct.
It's just the sliders in the back?
The sliders and 4 windows, 4 gliding windows.
On the back too?
Those are in the back. That's our little sunroom that's been back there, yes.
So
I don't think we can.
there's
see
not
it.
even any need, right?
No.
Yeah, where your pointer is right there, it's actually right behind that door, like in the back of the house, so it's on the,
Opposite side of kind of
Yeah, right.
ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in there. So we actually don't technically have to vote on this because it's not visible from the street.
And you can't see it from the back street behind or anything?
It's, if you go back up to the GIS map,
It's pretty buried.
it's,
Yeah, there's another house back there.
yeah, it's a, hold on, there we go.
I mean, look at how deep that is.
So the
Library.
front is along Burrows. So how it kind of, the smaller side of the trapezoid is really buried back there.
Okay.
I mean, I don't.
Well,
think
actually, I checked this
the
one out.
library-
This is the one I checked out. Yeah, you can see it from this street right here.
From the library, like if you're standing
Yeah.
at the Spicer Mansion,
Yep.
okay. All right, well, you're here and it looks like you have all your materials, so it's sometimes, especially if someone says that they can see it from the street, it's better to have a vote so that you have that and you can either move on or, depending on the vote, go from there. So that being said, as far as the materials and what's being done, do any of the panelists have any questions?
No.
I'm good.
Anyone want to speak for this application in the audience? Does anyone want to speak against this application in the audience? Okay. HDC 20-56 is now closed. So Dan, you can wait until deliberations to hear our vote, or we can contact you after the meeting.
Okay, you can contact me after, that'd be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
HDC 20-57, 154 Cliff Street. Anyone here?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
hi.
He's not is here.
Denise?
Yep.
Oh,
So is it my turn to talk? Okay. So
yeah, you
Denise,
can speak. You just state your name and then feel free. You have the floor.
okay, Denise, not my building remodeling. I'm representing Donna Ziri at 154 Cliff Street. She's hoping to build a 1-story addition behind the existing porch. We're going to have the trim, the windows, the siding all match existing. We are gonna put a deck on the top that's going to be at the same level as the existing porch. And we're gonna change the railing on the existing porch to match the Trex railing that we're going to be putting on the porch. It's going to consist of an office with the current state of affairs. She finds herself working from home and she needs additional office space.
Oh, so it's like behind the carport?
Yes. And then the kitchen is the jut out from the back. Yeah. She has an old stone basement that doesn't lend to be able to put the office in the basement. So we've decided to go out.
And it's just out as far as that carport.
We're going to dig down because we do want it to be at the same level, but then we want to maximize the height. So we are going to dig down with a concrete, pad and that kind of thing.
But does it come out to the right as far as the carport?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So it will not protrude beyond that.
And then you're just taking that deck and just extending it back.
Exactly. But we're going to update the railing so that it's vertical balusters rather than the horizontal balusters.
So this is Donna Ziri, the homeowner. We've been faced with an unprecedented situation with the COVID-19. I will be working from home for probably the foreseeable future. And my house, although it probably looks bigger than what it is, really isn't. So I really appreciate the consideration that the commission would give to this addition.
Okay.
One other question. So the siding, that cedar shake that's on the house, so you're just going to extend that down to like a freeze board?
Yes.
So there'll be no concrete exposed?
No, as little as possible. I mean,
You got that nice brick foundation. It looks like, at least.
it is. It's very nice.
Yeah, we're trying to make it as unobtrusive as possible.
Yeah, no, I think it looks pretty.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Don, any questions?
Just go back to that, yeah, that one.
Which one?
Keep going. Yeah, just so I can understand. All right, so it's just going above it. Okay, I'm good. We have all the materials and everything in here?
Yes.
Okay. If there are no other questions, I'd like to ask the audience if there is anyone who would like to speak in favor of this application. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak against this application? HGC 20-57 is now closed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. This is wonderful.
So hang out for a few minutes if you want to hear the answer.
Right. So, that was our last application, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that was our final application. So we now move to deliberations. And then you can just stay on and hear how that goes. Okay, so we continued. So we will now move to HDC 20-51, 24 West Main Street. Would anyone like to make a comment or?
Move to approve.
Second,
I froze.
All in favor? Aye. Heather Giannakopoulos, aye. Don Levinson,
aye.
Eric Goodman. Eric, I didn't hear you.
Sorry, I froze, but I'm back. I moved to approve, but I don't know if you jumped ahead of me.
I missed,
Right, so
I
you
missed
moved-
who made it the motions. I'm sorry.
Eric did, I believe, didn't he?
Eric
Yeah.
moved to approve, Don seconded,
Okay.
and Don and I had both voted in favor, and Eric, I was waiting for your, Eric Goodman.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so application HDC 20-51 has been approved. Moving on, HDC 20-53, 115 Library Street. J. Millis, condensers. Are there any comments or motions?
Well, before, remind me, did we approve the continuance for Todd's?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
before,
all of the ones we're skipping have been continued.
Oh. Okay.
I don't think we can vote on this one, the Library Street one, because the application didn't have the info about the condensers and the line sets that we've required from other people. At least I didn't see it. Remember,
Eric, can you hear me?
yeah,
I gave you exactly the same stuff I gave you on the last one, which is Taylor. And you guys approved
Yeah.
that?
though unfortunately lately, remember with Rodolfo from the Art Association, we made him submit the spec sheet on the condenser and even though we've gotten it over and over again, we still made him do it, and we made Cody do it on 9 Elm, and we made those other people do it too. The condenser size and the cover for the pipe, whatever. Just have to submit the spec sheets. Because there's no sizing to the condenser or anything on this.
I mean, it's just, it's the same exact thing I've given you multiple times and been approved.
Yeah, it's just lately. I mean, Heather, remember the one with Cody for 9 Elm?
Yeah, I remember.
And we made Rodolfo come back 3 times for it from the Art Association.
I mean, I'm fine to do it, you know, moving forward, to provide it. And I mean, I have provided it, I don't know, 3 or 4 approvals before now, but nobody seemed to ever address it. So I felt like it was just kind of a waste of everybody's time to upload all the submittals.
I would agree. I just noticed that we did it 2 weeks or 4 weeks ago with the 9 Elm one, and that's why it came up. Only because you could put any size condenser there, you know, a massive unit for like a branch box or 5 heads, or you could put a small one. No one knows.
Well, I mean, that's what the drawing indicates. If you had a tower system with 2 fans, my drawing would have 2 fans in it.
I mean, it's a Sharpie, but yeah, I see what your point is. But I still think we have to have it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If we're going to make people stick to it, we should do it, or we should just eliminate the requirement.
I don't know. I don't make these decisions, so.
Can you go down to the description one more time, Pete? Sorry.
I mean, I don't think it's a problem. We're going to approve it. It's just, you just need the details. If we're going to make everyone else do it, we should do it across the board.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you 100%. I think, can we do this moving forward? I mean, I just, it's, for me, it's a curveball when I've already been approved. I mean, literally, I was at the Taylor one was like last meeting, not 2 meetings ago, and nobody said boo about it. It was the same exact everything I've given you today.
It could have been an oversight. I don't know what to say. I just know that we made, like I said, we made the people from 9 Elm come back. We made Rodolfo at the Art Association come back 3 times. And we've made other people do it too.
Yeah, I agree with Eric. I mean, it's just a matter of coming in the next meeting and submitting the additional
Having
materials.
all of the specs.
I mean, it's a waste of paper, but it's just either that or we should figure out a way to change the rules internally. But
I mean, a way I could email it to you or something. I mean, it's just, my guys are literally on this job now as we speak. You know, the setting of the pads is the last thing I need to do. I could literally give you specs right now if you want them. I mean, but it's not in paper form.
Well, unfortunately, we can't add to it the day of. It is an overall unfortunate situation because you have been providing what has been approved previously. So to your point, clearly you thought you were submitting a complete application.
I mean, nobody even ever addressed them when I did send them. You literally scrolled past them.
I don't think anyone particularly cares. I just think it's a requirement as per the rules. I mean, I personally, it's a condenser's a condenser. I don't care what company, what color, what size, what anything. It just is what it is. I'm just saying it's a requirement and we've made other people do it. And if we're going to stick to it, we should stick to it.
I agree. Again, it's just the consistency, you know, the fact that it's been approved multiple times without them is what's frustrating me right now. But I'll bring them in. So it's, you know, it's out of my hands. I will get them and move forward.
Okay, so I think at this point we are
We should continue it.
motion from the panelists.
Should we make a motion to continue it?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to continue.
Second.
All in favor, Heather Giannakopoulos, aye. Don Levinson,
Aye.
Eric Goodman,
Aye.
HGC. Can you go up, please, Pete? Pete, can you just go up a little bit? 20-53 is continued. So obviously, Jay, all you need to do is now put specs in, and going forward, that will be how any AC condensers are going to be described in application. They'll be included in that. So 2 weeks out, or whatever the next one is, just everything the same, and then add that information.
Super frustrating. I mean, this meeting already got pushed out 2 weeks since the last time, but whatever. Okay, take care.
All right, thank you. So,
Seems like it's a little discretionary, but I'm just looking at the scaling in the ordinances. It looks like it's a little discretionary with the commission if they determine it deems necessary to be scaled properly.
I thought there was a size requirement. That's one of the things we've stuck to. My only comment is just, we made Cody come back because he didn't have the size of the condenser on there, or the details on it. We made Rodolfo come back twice.
Was there a reason for it, or was there a reason why we made him come back?
Because he didn't have the specs, the size.
Was it just somebody brought it up, a question of it, the size of it?
That was it. Just, did you have the spec sheet on it? I even tried to fight you guys on it because I thought it was kind of silly, because a condenser to me is a condenser unless they're going to put on some big commercial thing. But a 1 unit thing is generally all the same size. So that's why I think some of it is a little silly, but if we do the rewrite thing, you know, maybe we can clean it up at that point. But otherwise, it's really easy just to print the spec sheet out, especially now they can send it electronically, right?
Right. It's just it's just the logistics of it.
Shove it in there.
Okay.
I didn't want to say anything during the discussion, but I did mention to Jay that he was lacking the specs, and he felt that he had a complete application and he was okay going forward as is. So
okay,
it was mentioned.
okay. Well, we should be consistent.
Until we make the change, or changes if we do down the road, we just should stick to one thing, which is have the specs. That's it.
So that's one of the things that Peter and I try to do in the office, is just to make sure that people are consistently providing application, plot plan, you know, all of the things that we know for sure you need. just so that they don't run into a situation like this.
Okay, thank you, Linda. All right, moving on. HDC 20-56, 15 Burrows Street.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Heather Janikopoulos, aye. Don Levinson,
Aye.
Eric Goodman.
Aye.
HDC 20-56 has been approved. HDC 20-57, 154 Cliff Street. This was the addition of an office in the back of her carport. Any comments or motions?
I think she did a nice job fitting it in behind the carport, and bringing the siding down was nice because it covers up any concrete.
I
So,
thought the same. I think it looks nice. It's the best way to add on. It's already that type of house that can take and handle a little bit more space. And I thought it looked, the sketch looked like it was going to be a good blend.
I move to approve.
I will second. All in favor? Aye. Heather Janikopoulos, aye. Don Levinson,
Aye.
Eric Goodman.
Aye.
HDC 20-57 has been approved.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, hopefully that helps things.
It will make our COVID lives so much easier.
Good. All right, so that was our last deliberation. If at this point, we can move to pre-applications if there are any in the audience.
Peter's in there. I thought I saw him.
There should be a couple. I did receive, I think Peter Springstill called me and Greg Fettis as well.
They're both here.
Peter?
I'm
Yeah.
here.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I am here tonight for some carports at 3644 West Main Street to service Central Hall. And I can take over the screen, right? Share screen.
I'm going to make you a co-host. You'll have the ability to share the screen.
Didn't we do these, Peter, already?
In that back lot, right?
We did storage building in the back lot. And we may have done a carport earlier, but we've got something different now.
So
All right,
this,
you should be able to put it in there now, Peter.
Okay.
so this would replace what I thought we approved. I thought we did some carports that were like into the left. They were like little covers, but all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you see the.
We did.
So
It's a little weather.
this is West Main Street here. This is Pearl Street. Central Hall is right, the white box right here. And the site we're talking about is right in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our residents will walk across Gravel Street and through the Smith Insurance lot to get to our parcel right here. And now I'll show you. Okay, so this is a 3D of the building that exists, which is this right here. This was a storage building that we had you approve a while back. This
Mm-hmm.
one-story piece right here. Then chapter 1 is right here. And this is the driveway that comes out onto Pearl Street right here. So what we're looking to do is cover some of the parking spaces back here. So you can see this structure right here and this structure right here are what we're proposing. Let's see. So this view here is from the other side. As you were walking from Central Hall, you'd be walking this way here. So we create a little gable with the Central Hall logo on it, so that you see that sort of waymaking identity there to draw you to this area. I don't know why my columns aren't showing up here, but there's columns here. So these are one-story little carports with gable roofs. We'll do asphalt architectural shingles. And we sort of have an articulated column here with a base and a cap that sort of match what we're doing over on Central Hall on the pilasters that we have over there and the carport that we have over there. So we will need a variance to do these. But they usually come to you before I go for a variance. These are the elevations, so you get a sense of the scale. Basically, on the entrance side of the carport, we pull the columns in so that there's enough room to make the swing into the parking space. These are kind of tight.
So what did we approve then? Because we've seen the carports.
Yeah.
I think we approved, it was a whole different parking layout at the time. There was a, I don't think we did a carport over here. We only did a carport
I think
over
it was
here.
a smaller, I think it was the one with the gable, like the one closest to the entrance of the walkway.
That's right. It was this one here, and it had a big cupola element in the center.
Yeah. And there were only 2 cars, I think.
Yeah, there were, well, I think there were, you might be right. There were cars on both sides of the cupola. But we got into a problem here because this is a fire lane that we have to keep open, so we can't have any structure there. So the new one is this carport here, and then this carport here.
Okay.
So again, this we have to leave open for fire access. So we're just doing these here. So this is the view from Central Hall. You'll see that view from Gravel Street. When you look into the Smith Insurance parking lot. I think it's Smith Insurance. Maybe it's some other insurance. Rover, thank you. So you'll see this elevation from Gravel Street. And you'll probably see the backside of that, which is this elevation here from the Pearl Street driveway. And then you will probably also see this one peeking over the top of the neighbor's fence from Pearl Street also. So there you can kind of see the fence height. So you'll see the roof line peeking out at the top. If we go back to the 3D. So there's the fence. Oops. There is a house here, and then they have a parking area here, then the fence, and then Pearl Street is here, and you can see the backside of that rooftop. So that's pretty much what we're looking for.
Okay. Where did Eric go? Eric?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, it was one of the panelists. I don't see him. Did he disappear?
I can see him from my view, but he looks frozen. He's like
Oh,
not moving at all.
oh,
I
okay.
don't see him at all.
Well, you're always very thorough, and this looks very nice, and back area isn't all that fantastic now, so I think this would be an improvement.
What
I
is
should,
it?
I should mention too that we're looking to do these fences here as well.
Mhm. What is that?
We have
That's kind of jetting.
So this fence is on the neighbor's property, and we worked with them. That's chapter 1. And right now, if you go
Oh.
back there, you can see all their dumpsters and all kinds of propane tanks.
Okay.
So we've made an agreement with them to spruce that area up. So we should be asking for this fence and these fences here. And then the fence drops down once we get past that intersection of fencing there. Because now we're into the parking lot that looks okay.
Is it 2 types of fences?
Well, one is taller than the other. These are,
It's just, no, I meant from the other one that is there on the other side of the carport.
these are existing
Existing,
stockade
yeah.
fences.
And then how tall is the one against chapter 1?
These are 6 feet tall.
And then it drops to 4.
Yeah. Because this looks terrible back here, so this will be an improvement for everybody.
Okay. Any comments from the panelists?
Are those streetlights new?
Yeah, those are existing.
Oh,
Those were done to match the streetscape lighting. Sorry, it looks like we didn't finish our models here on the ends. So there's a better shot of the fences. So we'll just leave an opening here between the shorter fences to walk through.
Mhm. Okay. So are you planning on presenting this as
On the
an
first?
application the next, what's the date?
I think it's the first of September.
September 1.
September 1.
Yes, I'd like to present it then as a formal application. And what's the protocol now? Do I email drawings to you before the meeting?
Yes. Linda.
Yes.
Linda, okay,
So I need the application tomorrow, so I can put the ad together.
okay,
The supporting documentation, if you can send me PDFs,
sure.
I can get them uploaded to the web portal. And I would need those. The last time that you could get them to me for posting for public, for FOI would be the day before the meeting, so August 31st. My preference would be to have it a week earlier than that, if at all
Sure.
possible. So,
We can do that, Linda.
but the application, I definitely need tomorrow.
Okay, will do.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Any other comments? Or are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Peter. And there was another pre-application?
Yeah, Greg Pettis, before West Main.
Hi,
How are you?
good. Oh, there you are.
Am I up?
You are up.
I'm making you a co-host right now, Greg, so hang on, if you got something to submit.
Okay.
You should be good to present your share docs, share screen at this point.
So can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 54 West Main Street, which is the old Bank of America building.
Mm-hmm.
My client, which I guess was up for a couple signs earlier
Mm-hmm.
in the evening. Long-term, my client is looking to do a restaurant there. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit here.
So before we start, so the stuff's gonna move out, or,
It's just going to be a restaurant, yes.
so I mean, should that guy even bother coming back for a sign?
That's I guess between my client, the landlord, and the tenant. I'm not,
You don't want to
you know,
speak on that?
we got some approvals to get through, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news.
Got it.
To not quote anyone tonight, but let's see. So I don't know if you can see.
Makes a little bit more sense why there wasn't an urgency in the signage.
Yeah, so the south elevation, really the changes are, you can kind of see the proposed exhaust fan kind of peeking out over the rooftop. Probably going to be at the angle you're looking at it, probably going to be a little less than that, but we just showed it at the same height as the back. And also the letters brewery, which is going to be across the front elevation above the entrance there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, I'm going to show you the site plan shortly, but there's going to be some outdoor seating on either side of the lawn area, or either side of the front entrance where the lawn areas are. And my client's not really, and there'll be like a metal wrought iron, not wrought iron, but kind of a metal fence. And I can show you details of that real quick. But then in the rear of the property, which is the north elevation. Oops. No. Yeah, I'm struggling here. Sorry about that. Oops. Let's see. All right, well, I'll come back to that. Let's move right to the outdoor seating. There'll be 5 tables on either side of the front entrance. There'll be a fence around, which shows up in the site plan. But yeah, basically the entire first floor level will be a restaurant. There'll be some brewing equipment on the right side of the screen there. Brewing is really not meant to be a full-blown brewery. It's more to kind of complement, be an accessory to the restaurant.
Faux brewery?
What's that?
A faux brewery?
Yeah.
So does that mean all those other signs will be removed in the front?
Yeah, so we don't know what we're going to do with the signs yet, so we'll be back before you separately.
Greg, I gotta tell you, I won't vote for anything positively until you come up with a plan to get rid of all that stuff. Because that front yard is a disaster and it's pretty disgusting. So there's no way you're getting my vote until
I would suggest removing
remove all of it. The tall one, the side one, the one that says do not enter, the whole thing, get rid of it all.
Correct. I agree.
Okay,
A strong suggestion.
let me just make sure we got, I'm just trying, I'm not sure why this thing isn't getting any bigger.
And as an editorial comment for the respect of her neighbors, she should mow the lawn more often.
You're gonna have a lot of information to take back.
Yeah. So the signs, this freestanding sign here, the other sign, and then this,
Can you zoom up to that top photo? Just
Yeah.
pull the page down. Or from memory, there's a do not enter sign on the left that's metal. It's been kicking around since Bank of America.
this
That
thing right here.
I can't see it. You have to scroll the screen down.
It's not scrolling on our end, so whatever you're seeing, we're not seeing it.
Oh,
Just bring your page down. Yeah. Or zoom back out and zoom in on the photo. Right. Just from memory, there's a do not enter sign that's legacy Bank of America thing. That thing should go or be redone. There's their sign that was never approved that needs to go before anyone does anything. And there's that tall old Bank of America sign that no one's painted or cleaned up or anything. If they're not going to use it, that should go too. Just get rid of it.
All three.
so you can't see the south elevation on your
Now we
screen?
can.
Now, yeah.
Now
Just
we can.
stop. Go down just a hair more or up. Yeah. Stop.
Okay. So you're talking, Eric, about this, this sign right here, which is do not enter, I believe.
That thing should go. The sign that was never approved, the white one right there.
Which one?
should
This
go.
one, which was
Yeah.
the application before you tonight earlier?
Right, but that wasn't approved what she put up, and I don't think we agreed. I think we agreed that we weren't going to approve it in its current form anyways, so it just
Okay.
needs to go. And then the sign on the right, either if you're going to use it, paint it and clean it up and
Yeah.
make it look decent, or get rid of it.
Okay. And the do not
Cool
enter
sign, though.
sign,
Prefer you painted it and reused it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, if it must be there, you can reapply for a sign that looks less
yeah,
like
if we
Bank
cleaned it up
of
and you
America
had the
sign.
details of what we're doing, then I'm guessing,
I think
I
we'd be
agree that all
approve
three
it.
need to go in some way.
so the do not enter sign, we're okay with, because somehow we gotta keep people from, I don't think that's an entrance. So how are we proposing a different kind of do not enter sign, or?
I would just do a new sign that's more cohesive with the rest of your signage.
Agreed.
Right now, it's like you've got a mismatch of stuff from,
Yep.
you know,
Generations past.
I don't
I mean,
disagree.
that tall sign is from Fleet Bank back when, geez, when I was like 10. I remember.
This one here?
Yeah, and I think it had a previous use too, because it appeared in some old photos from the 70s, 80s, I think.
Okay.
Have
Let me
you-
just,
But that's minor stuff. I mean, it's easy.
yeah, no, you're totally correct.
But also,
Go
it would
ahead.
be good to see what the fencing is going to look like too, and the patios.
Yeah, we got a detail of it, which I can submit a cut sheet for it also, for the public hearing. But this is the rear north elevation of the building. So what we're proposing back here is to switch out one of the windows to a second form of egress and handicap access. And we were just gonna do a fire rated door, painted a similar color to the building. If that's kind of the least obtrusive, I guess, than trying to make something, it needs to be fire rated. So I think that's probably our biggest issue. But anyway, we're open to suggestions there. This is actually the old elevation, which doesn't show the show the fan and the ductwork. So let me flip to that.
Greg, I'm not sure you need to. I mean, Heather, I don't want to, and Don, I don't want to speak for you both, but we've kind of taken the approach that, you know, the hood systems are what they are and we're stuck with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to do, you know, between the windows as kind of least obtrusive as possible. And really the back of the building, you can see from Bank Street if you're maybe coming down Bank Street to the south.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you got to kind of look over your shoulder as you look back at it if you're driving up Bank Street. So it's not overly
No, I think you put it in the right spot.
overly visible from public right away. It is definitely, but
Yeah, have you identified who's your client? Is your client the owner of the building? Is it?
yes, the owner of the building.
Okay.
So because that back entrance will be the handicap entrance, is there a plan to clean up the back area a bit more as well?
The only thing was add a ramp back there and, you know, maybe cut the lawn and kind of clean things up. But other than that, not huge plans.
The
I
fence?
think you're going to have to do more with the landscaping. Not that we have jurisdiction over it, but I think it would go a long way with regards to,
The whole package.
yeah.
Let me just. So we are adding, this is the site plan. So on Bank Street, we're adding some screening because that area is residential back there on that back corner. The zone line kind of just incorporates that one property to the northwest. We are adding a little bit of landscaping in the front, but we're adding a trash enclosure in the back. We can definitely add some landscaping back there. The neighbor actually's chain link fence is kind of on our property, blocking off the parking. I don't know if you can see that in the back. Probably not a lot we can do with that, but we do have a little bit of the one handicap spot and we can do some landscaping back there. So you want to see details of the trash enclosure also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The trash, the fencing, the patio surfaces, if you're going to do them.
Yeah, so the outdoor seating fence detail is on the left there. You want to actually see a cut sheet submitted.
No, that's not that bad.
I mean, I have the cut sheet for that. The dumpster enclosure, you can definitely, you know, it's going to be the stockade fence kind of detail around that. Again, nothing too fancy. And the handicap ramp detail. I don't come before you guys that often, so I just want to make sure I submit everything you need.
Yeah, and I think what you're giving us is going to be what we need, but our suggestions, I think, would be the whole package. So it doesn't have to be fancy. I think it needs to look clean.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, politely, I think you need to do a better job of cleaning up the property if we're going to take it as a whole.
Yeah, I'm a little confused too. I mean, is there actually going to be a restaurant going in? You're asking for a sign that says brewery. Is that
Yep.
the name of the restaurant or what's the story?
Yeah, where's the restaurant signage going to go? I mean,
Yeah, that's not determined at this point, but I'll take into account your comments regarding the signage out on the street. The 3 signs that do not enter and the other 2 freestanding signs. What we'll probably do is propose to replace the do not enter sign, remove one of the other signs and then make the nicer freestanding sign, the restaurant name.
that's a great idea.
But you are anticipating putting the words brewery on the
Yes.
front facade?
Yes.
Okay.
So the
Mm.
brewery's the draw to the restaurant, you know. So, but I get the cleaning up the property, is that something that we're proposing to do and kind of as part of this whole package, or you'd like to see it cleaned up before we come back?
No, I think you should propose it as part of the
Put it
package.
in your package.
Twice.
Okay. Okay,
More landscaping, more, just clean it up. You know what that means.
Yep.
But I'm not sure that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not sure that, and I kind of sense that from you, Don, too, that brewery thing's gonna fly. It's just a little out of touch with what we've done for other places in such a heavy format.
I don't know. I thought it's a big building and it's just different from everything else. It doesn't bother me. If everything else is gone.
Yeah. Don, what do you think though? Because I sensed your hesitation.
Well, I'm just not, it's
He doesn't
You-
get the concept.
usually, you put the name of the restaurant or something, and we don't have a lot of details of what the words are going to be made out of and all that jazz, do we?
Well, the restaurant, they don't know what it's going to be called yet, it sounds like. So that part's not that weird. I mean, they'll come back and do a sign request with something more specific, maybe for that one pole.
No, I think if Greg comes and says, hey, we're going to put the restaurant sign on that pole, then great, that's fine. And we can deal with the lettering and stuff later. But yeah, to Don's point though, I think we need to know, like, what are you going to make brewery out of? Is it going to be wood? I mean, painted? Is it going to be stone?
yeah, so he's already got the letters. They're individual letters that are kind of chromy silvery color. I mean, I could definitely take a photo of one and submit it, or
Yeah, the sizing and everything, it's got to all be there.
yeah, if I was coming to an actual meeting, I would bring a couple of the letters with me, but since not, I'll get the sizes.
Don't bring the letters because we can't take the letters.
Materials.
I know you can't. I just
No, but I mean, even back then, we couldn't take the letters.
So just total breakdown of materials and size.
Yep.
All right, anything else?
So I'll make a decision whether or not we're kind of ready for the next meeting or not,
Okay.
after I talk to my client. And
Yeah, I mean, there's no limit on pre-hearings, if you want to come back
Yeah.
again, it's a pre-hearing, that's fine too.
Yeah,
I think we have time, so I'm not going to rush things. And he wants to do things right, but we're not doing a lot of stuff on the outside, so I think we can definitely do a little more with tidying things up, and we'll have some better pictures next time and so forth. So
What are they going to do for parking?
well, the zoning allows 100% parking through validation, so that's the plan. I think I don't know if you've been behind Mystic Pizza recently, but it was kind of a joint effort for parking back there previously, and now there's some some posts and chains up dividing the property. So there's not as free. My client had parking there before, but he needed a little bit of access from Mystic Pizza. Now he doesn't have that, so he's got the one handicap spot back there, and he's got access in and out from Bank Street, and will rely on pedestrian traffic and the parking lot.
So all those spaces that used to run across that back wall, they're all going to be gone.
Yeah,
They're
they're all
already
gone.
parked.
They're all pretty much gone now.
Yeah.
My client is my client is using it almost like valet for their own employees, but it's not really working that well because it kind of blocks access.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, but anything you can do on that patio too to make it fit better. I mean, a nice like cobbled brick or something. I don't know, cobblestone or something that will fit.
Yeah,
on-
I think he was trying to, tidy up the lawn areas, get some seating, get the thing going, and then he would long-term do something, but it's like,
If he's gonna fence it in and just have a mud pit there though, from people sitting there, I think that's a terrible idea.
I would agree that if
You know,
that's what it ended up being,
yeah,
yes, that
so-
would be.
The takeaway is it's already a very obtrusive, it's just a big building in downtown. So you're already dealing with like eyes on you. You really have to go, you have to elevate. I mean, it really asks for more of a, high-end top, especially in the front, not so much in the back necessarily, but I don't know if you can go 50% or less. Like it has to be, you have to really
Yeah.
do top.
I think if you're gonna get the approval of everyone,
Materials.
especially with things getting cleaned up, I think, leaving things grass and letting them be weird sitting areas, like I just don't think that kind of stuff's not gonna fly. I think you gotta do it right or don't, or I mean, do what you want, but I don't think you're gonna get it.
Right, okay.
So just some feedback to
Yeah, no, it's good,
take back.
it's good advice.
I mean, for what it's worth, like with Sift, like you did the nice pavers and stuff and it all worked, and it doesn't get dirty. The trash area stinks, but like the front area doesn't get dirty and like that works. I think you got to do something similar here. Otherwise it's gonna look like a dump in 6 months. Especially if you're doing it's gonna be a beer garden at like a festival is what it's gonna turn into.
Yeah, I don't think that is the intent, but I can see how it could head that way easy enough.
20 people with open containers in a fenced in area on grass after a couple drinks.
All right. Any other feedback?
I think the
Good.
concept's great though. That's all I have to say.
Well, thank you, Greg.
All right, thank you.
Is that it for pre-apps?
I believe so.
Okay, so moving on, public communications.
We need Greg to give up his control here on the screen and everything.
Oh. Well, Pete, can,
I stopped him out, so let's see.
any more love letters sent to us?
Yeah, we do have one.
Oh, good.
I was gonna put it on here for you guys to read. Hang on one second, let me find it. There we go.
Oh, this is
The fence.
Tell me when you want to scroll down, it's a long letter.
So,
There's more to the letter. I just can't put it
yeah,
on one
I'm
screen.
ready as soon as everyone else is.
yeah, I'm good. You can scroll up if Don is.
Yeah, all right.
Actually, I kind of minimize this. Can't see. So to me, this. Whoopsie, that's not what I meant to do. There we go.
I think we should have continued it based upon how chaotic and confusing it was at the time. And it wouldn't have done much to wait 2 weeks.
Well, there was a lot that was being said that were not, they were out of our hand. The fact that she didn't see it was there may be a problem there, but doesn't lie in that situation. The fact that sometimes people can't get physically, when we have in-person meetings, to the annex, but she was saying, she was told that it was online and she didn't look online.
I think the process,
internet.
I agree with you, the process that the petitioner used or did was proper. I'm just saying that since it was something that the handbook does discourage, since the neighbor was confused about it, and it's not something that we regularly approve, I think we should have just continued it and let it ride out for 2 weeks instead of, trying to push it through, or not push it through, but allowing it to go through. Because if we did it going forward in similar circumstances, I mean, think about over the past 2 years now, how many situations like that have we had? None.
Well, I think this goes to the thing I talked about before about notification, that maybe if people are going to do a project that's on a property line, that there be some kind of requirement that they give notice to the adjoining property owner when, like I say, when it's something that's right on the property line between the two owners. I'm not sure, exactly how we can accomplish that, but it just seems like.
I think that's a great idea, which is if we're going to require notice, required for items that directly abut. I think
Your property.
requiring notice for everything is a bad
Right.
idea, personally.
Right.
Because that becomes arduous and it's just extra steps that we shouldn't be adding in.
No, I agree. But for, like I say, for things that abut the property of your neighbor, they should at least give them a little bit more notice.
Well, so that was the other thing. I went back and watched that meeting, they had discussed, they had talked, she just hadn't seen it, but that's because she didn't go online. They had explained to her what they were doing. They were the ones that told her about the hearing and said, she was actually told. So she was told, she just didn't go to a computer.
Wasn't there a problem? She just, all she had was telephone access to our meeting or something?
But why didn't they just give her a picture of it?
That night?
Yeah.
That night, the conversation, I don't know. It seemed that there was a lot of anger, but what I was trying to pick apart the facts, it was that she did have a heads up. No, she didn't see it, but she had a chance to see it.
Right, but giving the woman a benefit of the doubt, why didn't the neighbor just present to her what they showed us, which is a picture of the fence, and said, hey, here's the vinyl fence.
I don't know, but I assume they thought she was going to come to the meeting, and by saying come to the meeting, like how everyone else is, I don't know if they had the discussion that she said, I don't have internet. I mean, obviously I wouldn't assume that my neighbor doesn't have internet. So I don't know the answer to that.
No, I just think it's one thing to share with your neighbor and say, hey, I'm going to put up a fence, but come to the meeting, you'll see what it's going to look like. Or, hey, I'm going to put a fence up. This is what it's going to look like. Personally, don't really care what you think because it's my property, but this is what it's going to look like. That's what they could have done.
I don't know. I just heard that they gave notice, and she attests to that during the back and forth that started between everyone.
Well, it seemed like she did, from her letter here, it seems like she didn't realize that it was going to be put to like a final vote in front of us that night. I don't know why she didn't understand the process. I mean, that's not our problem, but.
Right, and I think we're trying to vote on the fence. And then I think between the two of them, they sound like it's a neighbor issue where the one neighbor was sick of having the dilapidated fence falling down into their yard. And so wanted to put up a new fence, a privacy fence, told their neighbor, I'm going to the Historic District Commission to apply to put up a fence. Here's the information so that you can show up. To me, that sounded like because she didn't have the internet was the issue, but not, I mean, I feel bad for her that she couldn't see it. And it was a very frustrating situation, but I also feel like everything was done the way it could be done because it's not a perfect system right now. It's not. And I thought about this afterwards because when you're doing Zoom meetings, clearly there are limitations. And in that case, someone not having internet is not something that we've really broached because this is the first time it's happened that we know of. But it made me think on the flip side, some people physically can't get to meetings either. So I don't know how that could have been handled differently in that she was told about it. She just didn't go to a computer to see it. Because the seeing it was the issue for her.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Eric. I kind of regret that I regret that we even approved the vinyl fence, but that's just my personal opinion. But what's done is done.
Well, that's why I think it goes back to the conversation we've had several times now, which is we need to revise this handbook because we either need to stick by it or not, because
I completely agree with that because the final fence thing is, it's not easy because if it's, really visible versus tucked away, like there's no clear way for us to respond. And even amongst the panel, obviously we have different opinions on it. So I do think we need some clarity with the vinyl fencing because it's not going to stop. It's going to keep coming.
And the only complaint I've ever gotten in whatever 5 years I've been on here is about us approving the vinyl fence, where somebody personally contacted me to ask for clarification. And
one of the ones that we denied was making comment about a fence that got put up down on Pearl Street, which I forwarded to Linda.
Oh, the multifamily?
I don't know, right past Harpin Hound on the right.
Yes. Actually, someone came to me saying, wow, a lot of approvals are happening there. And I said, oh no, we haven't had any approvals. So I don't know what else is going down. I haven't gone down there. But someone came to me actually in the last week or so and said, there's a lot going on.
You might want to check to make sure they're not doing any like additions and stuff. I don't know what they're doing, but.
Yeah, we could check it out and see what's going on over there.
But they stuck that vinyl fence up, that stockade or picket vinyl fence up in the front in the last, I don't know, couple weeks maybe. But they were not too happy because we denied theirs.
Yeah, I it's a problem because the Elm family has a pool in the back. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having a vinyl fence back there. People can see it from the street, but it's not in your face. And she was saying that it can get mildewy, if you put the wood up. And I agree. If you have a pool, it's not the best to have wood right there, but it's just there's a lot, we need a little more We need it, something in the handbook so we can reference it.
I wouldn't be opposed personally to composite fences. I just don't, I'm very anti the Home Depot special vinyl fence. I mean, there are Intex and other companies make composite fences that look like wood that are really nice fences. I just think the use of a shiny vinyl in any capacity, with the exception of like surrounding pool equipment buried in someone's backyard that you're never going to see, or around some like trash thing or something that's never going to be seen. Other than that, you're probably never going to get my vote for it. Someone won't. It just doesn't fit. I mean, if we're trying to keep everything, in the character the town deserves.
I think what you're saying is we're getting back to readdressing, changing the regulations, or getting back on board with that. I know we were looking at doing that prior to the COVID situation taking place.
I mean, even if in the short term, by the end of the, I don't know, end of the summer, end of the fall, even if we just make a couple modifications to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're going to get increasing frustration if we're going to,
Yeah,
be all over the place.
I agree. And what would be the process to do modifications?
Well,
So what?
Let's have that conversation when everyone's here, maybe, just so we're all on the same page and we're not redoing it.
Yeah, well, the redoing the whole handbook has been ongoing.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to take a lot if you want to do it right.
Right. Yeah. And so if this is more of I think a pressing issue that is going to keep coming up. So
I don't know that the
support for
process,
modification.
I don't know if the process for modification is, procedurally any different than redoing the whole thing. I mean, obviously it's a lot less work, but it's the step would be the same.
Probably not, but if it's got to go to the town council, going to them with, 10 or 15 changes of just verbiage is probably going to be a lot easier than saying, here's a whole brand new handbook.
I would work with staff on really what the process is. I'm not 100% sure it has to go to town council. It definitely has to have a public hearing. But staff can walk you through the process of what really needs to be done. And that might help you determine whether you're going to do something small or go bigger.
So why don't we'll look at it for next meeting. We'll try and give you your options as to moving forward. If it was to take minor changes, minor alterations versus a whole revision of the book, and see what you're looking at for on a timeline.
And it seems like there's just been like a handful of things that have been, consistently coming up that I think we should take a look at. Windows, siding, trim, and fences is the only thing that's really like
scaling of equipment.
Yeah.
I want to add that one in there.
Speaking of that, what's going on down at Fort Rachel?
Fort Rachel, Eric Cudlis withdrew his request, and I do not know if they are moving forward to try and go back to the original approval.
They just ripped all the siding off and the windows are all covered up.
The last I knew is there was a discussion of going back to the original approval and just doing it to what you guys approved. But I have not talked to him since Eric Cudlis withdrew.
Because it doesn't look like they ripped the roof off or anything, which they would have had to do to drop it.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't, like I said, that's the last discussion I had with him was on that.
Okay. So we will revisit the modification process next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for public communications?
I guess just so on that guard check, Pete, I'll just file an application, I guess, just so it's in there for the new one.
Yeah, so we'll bring that in, and I don't know, how do we leave that?
Well, can you pull the photo up?
I got two computers going here. You got to bear with me.
Sorry.
Let's see.
Let me just send you a before photo, and maybe you can just show.
Well, you know, I can share with. I can make you a co-host. You can put it on there.
It's on my phone.
Oh, all right. I'm in an awkward position where I use my personal computer for the meetings, and I have my work one set up on the side, so I have to email it to myself to get it onto here. So
Just send you the other one too. Sorry. Unless I can.
there we go. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. And now I gotta go share screen, new share. Everybody see that?
Mhm.
Sideways, that's all.
That's the way he sent. Yeah, he sent it to him. He sent it to me that way.
All
I'll
right.
just turn, whoa, every time I try to turn my, all right. Good enough.
Here, Pete, just share your screen with me. I think.
The other picture you just sent me?
Yeah, just open the
Hang
folder.
on, I gotta forward that one myself. Sorry.
Oh, wait a minute.
Let's see. Come on. There we go. All right, here we go. Well, it worked just to get this. Here we go.
You want to just?
Can you see that one?
So that was the before.
You were really testing me on this, right? Let's see.
Do you want to just share your screen with me? Because I've got them open.
You got them open yours?
Yeah.
All right, hang on a second. It's easier that way. You can explain it better. All right, you co-host right now, so you should be able to share.
All right. Can you see this? Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what it looked like before. Basically, that's what it looks like after. So there's some slight changes. The old doors were these kind of rinkety dink things. We just changed them out to a sliding fur door, and the windows were busted plexiglass that had kind of been put back in, and we just swapped them out to double hungs. And then this was like some beadboard put over clapboard. We basically just got rid of it and just put the clapboard on it. So I can apply unless, and we can do the whole thing unless you guys are happy with it, and I can just, I don't know what I do.
Well, I think you have to apply.
Yeah, you gotta apply.
Okay.
Change the pitch of the roof too, I see.
Yeah, we had to bring it up higher because that's the problem, was that trucks kept clipping. See this corner right here?
Ah, yep, sure do.
Clipping that corner, and that's what was causing that. Not just me, but also in the other corner, the dump trucks clipped it.
Not just me.
I know. So, well, it wasn't even actually me, but. And then this thing was old and didn't even work, so we just took it off.
What the hell was that? The light?
Light.
Satellite dish? I don't know. Yeah, it was like an old light.
Okay.
See, that's kind of it from the other angle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with it, but just gotta go through the process.
Yeah. We just have to get it built. That was the bigger thing, because they were without parking access. Well, they're still not, but for 2 months.
It still isn't?
No, because they still haven't gotten the ticketing system set back up.
Oh,
That's politely their problem. That's not anything we had to do with.
oh. Okay.
I will say we did significantly improve the appearance, I hope.
Yeah. That's very nice.
A lot of copper.
Very nice. Okay.
All right, so Linda, I'll just send this in to you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Anything else? All right, I'll move to.
I'll get back to,
Oh, what?
hang on, let's just
Did
get
we
back
forget
to
something? Sorry.
You should approve the minutes.
right.
Yeah,
there we
we're
go.
about to approve the minutes. Yep. Approval of the minutes. Anyone move to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Janikopoulos, aye. Don Levinson,
Aye.
Eric Goodman,
Aye.
old business.
I think we covered it already.
Yeah, and then also new business, I think. That was sort of in public communications, probably. All right, anything else before I make a motion to adjourn?
Well, thank you, Heather, for taking over last minute.
Yes, hopefully she'll be back on the 1st. We all like when she's here.
Hey, you're getting very good at this, Heather. Very good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can do it. I just rather not do it, I guess. Is the... So, okay. That's it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Have a good night.
Good night.